Parsha Beha-alotcha begins with God's instructions to Moses about constructing the tabernacle's menorah, and then continues on with the children of Israel leaving the desert of Sinai, and ends with Moshe's sister Miriam being struck with leprosy. Hashem spoke to Moses saying, "Speak to Aaron." Why, Aaron was a prophet as well, so why couldn't God just have spoken to Aaron instead of speaking to Moses?
There are two entities here. One, it's Moses is the leader, and second is the Aaron, who is the peacemaker and the most accepted personality. If you read the persona of the Torah, the personification of Moses, it's very different than Aaron. Moses is the one who's much more, in a sense, godly person, involved with interaction with God. Aaron is a people person, he's a peacemaker. When it's come to a daily mundane, lighting the menorah and dealing with daily lives, they need to have this type of interaction and respect, which is the order come from Hashem, from God. Moses give it to a people person, the one who have a better communication with people, which is brother Aaron, the high priest, and he instructed all the priests who are supposed to do it on a daily basis to light the menorah. So it's some type of the proper process of delegation in the management, especially management with such a large crowd of people in a time of wilderness.
The Torah also says how, God instructs Moses and Aaron to make the menorah. I think we all are very familiar with what a menorah looks like, but what is, according to the rabbis, or what does Judaism say about the spiritual importance of a menorah and that design or the light it gives out?
Rav Kook said, when there's a great darkness, you can't fight darkness with knives or guns or ammunition. When it's a great darkness, you light a small candle. That makes a difference. So lighting candles is a reflection of the soul of a person. It makes the whole difference, even with the small candles. So that's first idea. But furthermore, it's applied to the menorah in a sense of community. You have a community obligation to lit up the hearts of the people. And one of the idea to do it is by acting with this type of candles. Candles, it's a lot of symbols involved here. It's a symbol of victory, it's a symbol of happiness, it's a symbol of the soul of a person, it's a symbol of a small light change a lot of darkness. It's the whole idea of showing the world in a sense of community that thing can turn around with one good act.
They leave Sinai and they're traveling through the desert. They start complaining, and they say that we should have been back in Egypt where we had all this great food, melons, leeks, garlic, all these luxuries. And why now did they start complaining? Why not, a little bit earlier on when they were at the, at Mount Sinai, or, in between the time when they left Egypt, or, they were complaining then too, but why now are they starting to complain again and not earlier?
Isn't that show us how the Torah is a living Torah? Because if you look at our times, when you give people everything they wish to, especially silver spoon people, children, especially a society that's fed with all the goodies, the reaction is that people are not a better people by getting all the goodies. What happened is, when they are enslaved in Egypt, they value every small things. Now they have everything in the desert, they turn fat and became resistant, rebellious against all the goodness that they get. So it shows us that it's not only in the ancient time things happen, it's to this very day. The people never see the glass half full, and it's an issue that we're facing in every society all the times.
When Moses hears about the complaining that the children of Israel are doing with, all the food they're missing out on from Egypt, he says, "Why have you done evil to your servant? Why have I not found favor in your eyes that you place the burden of this entire people on me? Did I conceive this entire people, or did I give birth to it? That you say to me, carry them in your bosom, as a nurse carries a suckling to the land that you swore to its forefathers." Why does Moses have this response at this point? he sort of is giving up. He's not going out into the camp and chastising the people and saying, how dare you be so spoiled and ungrateful for what God has given you and giving you your freedom and giving you the Torah.
The Torah demonstrates a different type of leadership. You see in the Torah the leadership of Abraham, for example. When it's come to leadership of Moses, it's a leadership that starts with the point of the burning bush when God approached him and asked him to lead the people. And he wasn't in favor of that. So it turned to a point that Moses said, I try so hard to help people. I try to give them my utmost, my very best. Yet things happen and I feel that it's out of my control. So in a sense, he said to God, either you come out and helping me, right? Or why you need me to have this position? I never look for that position. Maybe someone else will do a better job than me.
After this whole episode with the children of Israel complaining about the lack of food, and then God responds, it's talking about these two men, Eldad and Medad, and how it says this, and the Spirit rested upon them. They had been among the recorded ones, but had not gone out to the tent, and they prophesied in the camp. The youth ran and told Moses, and he said, Eldad and Medad are prophesying in the camp. And then, there's a response that, Moses, you need to put these people in jail. And then Moses says, are you being zealous for my sake? Would that the entire people of Hashem, the people of God, could be prophets if Hashem would but place His Spirit upon them. What is this whole episode about? I was kind of surprised at Moses' response to what they were doing, because in a sense, what Eldad and Medad were doing was presenting a challenge to Moses' leadership as the sole, prophet and messenger between God and, the Israelites.
Okay. The key point here is the greatness of Moses. Here they are in the wilderness. He was the sole prophet. And you have this Eldad and Medad, two individuals that prophesied and did, in a sense, what Moses did all this time of leadership. So the expectations from his servant Joshua and others is to have him arrest them, to put them in the incarceration, to put them in a jail, because they are, in a sense, competing with Moses. But here we learn such an important message. The Talmud said that a person never been jealous of his son, meaning child, son's daughter, and his student. When Moses saw these people doing what he did, in a sense, he can get jealous or say that they are competing with me, but instead, he has the perception, the broad-minded, saying that when I'm helping another person to be great as me and even better, I'm basically doing what God expects me to do, and it shows how big I am, in a sense, of leadership. Here, you see a situation that happens in our lives a lot. You see a teacher with a student. You see in many circumstances in life that someone come up and he is not just as good as a teacher, but he can be even better than a teacher. What the right approach is like a Moses approach, that mi eten v'kol am Hashem nevi'im. I wish that everyone is a prophet and everyone is a teacher. In a sense, it's the feeling that I personally have when I see a student of mine or congregant or others that does well and doing so good that it's in my level or even better than me. This is one of the things that I can say about myself, that I'm very, very happy, try a little bit to follow the footsteps of Moshe Rabbeinu, to make more people prophet, to make more people teacher, to make the world a better place. So that's something that we should encourage, and God forbid never feel a jealousy, because we all on a mission. It's our call, and by making other people fulfilling their dreams, giving their heart and mind that they are great, and the proper word of encouragement, we basically fulfilling what we're supposed to do in this world.
After this whole episode, it continues. It talks about how Miriam and Aaron, Moses' two siblings, speak against him. And it says, regarding the Cushite woman he had married, for he had married a Cushite woman. Moses married, the wife that Moses had was Tzipporah. Why does the Torah not mention her name explicitly, and why does it refer to her as a Cushite woman? Rashi said that Cushite is Yafa, it's beautiful. Mm-hmm.
So it's a nice way to call her without any denigration. But the whole idea, it was, in a sense, a personal small talk between sister and brother. Miriam was just talking to Aaron and she was chatting with him. But because she's a great prophetess and because they are such a great people, Hashem went after them even for the smallest things. When it's come to evil gossip, we can learn from Miriam that even a small talk between brother and sister, that it's a bad-mouthing someone. And the whole talk was about him being without his family, without his wife, he's in a mission with God, he separated himself, and all kind of small talk that was turning to be a evil gossip. They get punishment right away. The Torah tells us that Miriam was isolated with leprosy. It was serious. In one hand, they wait for her until she healed, but she was out and she reflected with this type of disease, which go to show you that for any action, there is a reaction. So in a sense, speaking evil or speaking gossip against someone, even it's a small talk within a family, it's considering a Lashon Hara.
Why did Miriam only suffer from leprosy? Why not Aaron? Because the text explicitly says that he also spoke against Moses for the woman that he had married. Why was she the only one to be punished?
Number one, it's a big question if Aaron was the listener or if he's really partake of this. But if you read, for example, the story of how Aaron lost his two sons in sudden matter, and you follow some of the rabbis who said that it was paying back for the golden calf. So who am I or who we are to judge exactly and to know how people get punished for what? We're not God and we don't know how things work. But what it's clear that it was a scenario, a situation of speaking gossip, speaking evil, and they show you how God takes every word and every action seriously and how it's affected the person, especially people in their level right away.
Parsha Beha-alotcha teaches us the importance of spiritual cleanliness for the children of Israel. It shows the importance that no one is above the law, even people who are the closest to God.